Gotta come up with a theme song. I'm gonna fuck your ass. I'm gonna rape your ass. I'm gonna chisel in your vajayjay. No. I want to hang. I want to hang on the people who vote for Republicans. No, that's too hateful. Oh yeah, I could do a bluesy thing. Bitch gave me herpes. No. Theme song. Well, I've been playing games, thinking about your ass. No. Son of a bitch. Hey, I think my roommate left his heroin in here. Welcome to the first video of the Vanspective, starring me, Van Horton. This video, I wanted it to be amazing. I wanted to do all these things just like I thought the game I was going to be reviewing was, and instead I'm going to half-ass it just like the game. Talking about Star Wars: The Old Republic, and this game I totally got. That's right, Chewbacca. And a lot of people, I've been on the forums with the game and playing it, and one thing I want to talk about, kind of the elephant in the room here, is why do something that has such a fan base? Because I've been watching online, and people are going nuts. Either you're super pro, you're Star Wars, or you fucking hate it. So let's address the fanboys here first. If you are a huge Star Wars fan, you're probably not going to watch this anyways, because you already know I don't like it, so I'm not even going to worry about it. The thing is that as much as I appreciate the original trilogy, I hate the abomination that has become the new trilogy, and there's many things out there that you can look at as far as that goes on why those are absolutely terrible. So why do that? The reason for it is because it's a game, and I'm looking at it as the game itself. I'm taking the intellectual property outside of the game and looking at it how it's placed. Is it fun? If it wasn't Star Wars, would this be the game that everyone's raving about? And the answer is no. Hands down, flat out, no. Who am I to talk about this game? I've done review things in the past. We've been following the Facebook page. If you follow what me and Joe have done on our Nisbet Films page that you're currently watching this on, we have our opinions on things. The major point is that I played it through with my wife, and we both have 2 level 50 characters, played through the entire storyline. So I have not just getting I only play till level 20. That's one thing I don't like about MMO reviews, is that you get these people who play the game for maybe 8 hours, 16 hours, and they give you an impressions, and you don't know how the game actually is once you get going. The thing with an MMO is that it's constantly evolving, although this one's not. So that's why I'm doing the review a couple months later after release, to give the game some time and go. The other thing I want to talk about is, let's get this out of the way too, because again, MMO people are going to be all over this. The WoW references. The thing is that why is everyone comparing things to WoW? The truth is, 10 million people play it. Do I play WoW? No, I don't. Have I played WoW? Yes, I have. Am I a WoW fanboy? No. I am too critical of a person to be a fanboy of anything. And definitely with this game, I would actually say that it made me hate the Star Wars mythos and extended universe and just everything Star Wars in general. That's how much hate I have for this game, and I will be more than willing through this video to justify that. But let's start with the good things with the game, because that's easier. It's pretty. Like that, My Little Pony. My Little Pony's pretty. Do I watch it? No. The thing is because it's not any good. It's not. The artistic design as far as the cinematics go, yeah, but they're so few and far between. You got 2 cinematics at the beginning when you start the game up. After that, it's nice. There's other games, MMOs out there that do have better graphics. Is it terrible though? No. I mean, it is pretty to look at and it's aesthetically pleasing. Where the game really starts to go downhill is right away after, if you play, I played as a Jedi Knight. My wife played as a Jedi Counselor. The thing with the game is they really pushed the story. And that's why I see a lot of people, oh, this is a story-based MMO. Great, give me a good story. This is awful. One of the writers already left the game along with 3 other programmers, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't want my name attached to this thing either. I have stories downstairs in my basement from I wrote in 7th grade that I could probably send in to these fucking people, and they go, "Wow, let's make a game out of it. That's amazing." When it's not. The counselor story in itself is atrocious. Getting into something that I like to do is before I come out here, I like to have my facts. I like to know what's going on. I scour forums, wikis, interviews. It is said that actually they did not have a story written for the counselor. It was the last thing they did, and it really goes to show. The other thing you got to look at is with the game is because the story is bad, it just really brings the whole level down. And that's something that I want to get into with Star Wars a little bit. What is this? What? Hey, did you know that Santorum is the frothing mixture of lube and fecal matter that is sometimes the byproduct of anal sex?
TVHH Santorum.
When you look at the original trilogy, and why I like the original trilogy, it was written engagingly. And there's another man who does reviews, and you can find it. It's out there. And that really goes into how the differences between the new trilogy and the old trilogy are. You cared about the characters. There was character development. The new trilogy really lost that. You don't know. You're told that Obi-Wan and Anakin are really good friends, but you never see that. They're talking about what they did. You don't see it. And that's what's going on in this game as well. Is you're told a lot of things, and yes, you're playing this game, but there's so many other things that you're just supposed to take for face value, and they're contradicting. Example, in the game, how it works is this, and for those of you who haven't played it, you start off, depending on which class you pick, on either one of 2 planets, if you're Republic, and one of 2 planets if you're Imperial. The Jedi Knight and the Jedi Counselor start on the same planet. My wife did that so we could play together. She wanted to be a smuggler, but the problem was you got to start off on different planets. We are people who wanted to play it all the way through together and go, so we're really confined to that. Now, in an MMO, you're supposed to be playing with other people. You're supposed to be experiencing everything that's going on. You can't do that. Right away in the game, I have my own storyline. She has her own storyline. I can go in and might be able to see what's going on, or it might kick me out of the area and go, you're not eligible for this conversation, and I can't see what's going on. So I've already lost interest, and she's already lost interest. what's going on in your story? I couldn't tell what was going on in your story. I don't care. You know, or I have to, we're lucky I can go, she can look at my screen, I can look at her screen. Guy in California who's running with me can't. He can't look at my screen, so now I'm wasting time explaining to him what's going on in my story, if he even cares, because he is not worried about mine. He can't really do anything with it. So that's number one downfall. Like, it's not an MMO. It comes across as a half-campaign co-op, where you are really kind of stuck to your thing. Now, there's side quests that we could pick up together and do. That's great. And I was fine with that. You know, we both were. We were both like, all right, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We can at least go into the same areas, and if anything, you know, you can explain that to me. Then you start moving to other planets. You start on what's called Tython, and then you move to Coruscant, and every class does that. You go to this planet. Then, when you get out of there, you would think the game opens up. It's actually very linear. You have an option of either this planet or this planet. And you have to go to both of them, because the game will stop you from doing any other missions than if you don't complete your storyline. So I'm forced to go into these planets, and they are broken. That's the next thing I'm going to discuss and bring up here, is the bugs. Yes, to use who they're defending this game, it's a new game, and boy, was WoW back in 2004 really buggy. Here's the downfall, and I'm sick and tired of people in gaming defending this, and there was a Japanese gaming director, and I forget his name, just came out in an interview today actually, who said, you know what, there was a time when we made games in Japan, and we were proud of them, and we put time and effort into them, and that's been lost. And that's the truth here. We're accepting garbage. You know, people are defending things because we want something that good, that bad, that we ignore, turn the blinder on. Ostrich theory. What is the bad things? And I'm sorry, you can sit there and go, well, it wasn't good when that came out. No MMO was good when they first come out. There's no excuse why they shouldn't be. Don't put it out then. Put it in beta longer. I'm fine. Most of us, I think, gamers will agree. We're fine with you guys, gaming directors, gaming companies. Listen, we're fine with you postponing games. We'll pay more money if you come out with a complete game. I'm not touching Mass Effect 3 because of the $10 DLC that's coming out when the game is launched. Put it in the fucking game, asshole. You made it. Your game's not even done. What the fuck are you doing putting out extra content on a game that's not released? Fuck you. You look at us as money whores. We're total money whores. Take my money. No, you know what, guy? I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got enough addictions here with about 5 different cigarettes I like to smoke. At the same time, I'm not going to pay you $70 to place a busted-ass game to pay for extra content when you could have easily put it in when you launched it. I know you need to make money, and you're making plenty of money. Games already gone up to $60. I remember, as a kid, being able to buy games when I was 20. Inflation works, but $60 plus another $10 for DLC on top of it that you released when the game came out? No, you're pushing it, and you're creating you're creating a division between gamers and yourselves. And you've done this. You did this rift. And so that's why when I look at a game like this, $200 to $300 million budget. Now the reason why I'm saying that is there's some sources that say 200 million, there's some sources that say 300 million. And a lot of people go, where did this money go? And it's a good question. And truth is, from people who have left, from the 4 people that left the game, about $100 million of that was spent on advertising. Super Bowl ads, blitzes. So already either a third to a half of the money put towards a game was put towards strictly advertising. Put it into the game. It will advertise itself, asshole. How many football heads do you know going, oh my god, I get that MMO after I get done watching Peyton Manning throw that touchdown? Doesn't fucking happen. It doesn't happen. What the fuck are you doing? Know your audience, asshole. What do you mean I can't use my cell phone minutes on a 1-900 number? What the fuck?
TVH is one funny bitch.
Something else I should explain is that whole free-to-play versus a sub-game. And for those of you that aren't in the know, there's two types of MMOs out there. Either you pay $10, $15 a month to play it. And the idea behind that is that it gives you unlimited access. And then there's free-to-play, which comes in many different models. The most common one is you're given access to basic content, and then you have to shell out $5 to get access to this. Oh, you want extra characters? Okay, pay us $1 per extra character. They really nickel and dime you on that. And I've known people actually spend $800 in a month. Literally know people I know personally, $800 in 1 month on a free-to-play game versus $15 a month on a sub-game. I am much more for the sub-game. And one of the other things that you pay for with a sub-game versus a free-to-play is most free-to-play have a website of just emails for customer service, where a sub-game has in-game, where you have a problem with the game, boom, they have people that part of that subscription money goes to help fix problems in the game that you're having at the time. Star Wars The Republic is not doing that. You are given basic emails, and that's it. There's no live people, there's no real help, it's nothing. It's, okay, well, watch a patch note. Great, my game crashed for the 5th time today. What's the patch note going to do? And you'll see that right away on the 3rd planet, because with the Republic side, you either get to Terrace or Nar Shaddaa, and both of them, you'll run into enemies you can't hit. There are areas where you'll get stuck, your character just can't move, you have to relog and log back in, and then that's a pain because the game has a memory leak on it. So basically, when it restarts, you need to restart your computer and get it back up because it'll start eating into your RAM. Now, I have 10 gigabytes of RAM. It doesn't really affect me a whole lot. But for those of you people playing with 2 to 4 gigs of RAM, yeah, it becomes a real issue real fast. You're constantly having to relog. And that's just in the beginning part of the game. Getting back now to the story arcs. I don't want to give a lot away because I know some of you maybe are interested in it, will want to play it, and by all means, if it's something you're interested in and want to do, I'm not saying never play this game. I'm giving you a realistic review of this. And if those of you who want to play it and are going to play it, you're going to. So I don't want to give away any spoilers, but the Jedi Knight storyline does start to get kind of interesting. The game's done in 3 acts. And the first act leads into the second act, which leads into the third act, which leads to this ultimate confrontation, at least on the Knight side. That one was written well. The Counselor side and the Smuggler side, different stories. What you have there is it's part 1 is its own story. Act 2 is its second story, and it goes into Act 3 a little bit. It's so clunky, and you don't care. I think that's the other thing that you gotta look at too, is if you don't like where the story's taking your character, because it is your character, so now you have an idea of what your character wants to be. And I will say this, the Jedi Counselor becomes an ambassador to the Senate. So if that's not what you wanted or intended your character to be, now you're going, whoa, wait, I'm stuck playing this way. Like, I don't want to be an ambassador, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do... Nope, that's the way it's written. So that's why, yes, the story idea, bringing stories back to MMOs is a wonderful idea. This is not the way it's done, though. The voice acting, I'm sorry. I've been hearing voice acting in games since the PlayStation 1. It's nothing new. It's nothing special. Voice acting is what you do. That was an eventual progress to the MMOs. To make a big deal out of an evolutionary step as basic now as voiceovers is minute and asinine, because it was going to happen. That's like, you know, the Kinect was a bigger deal because we got rid of the controller. We never thought we'd get rid of the controller, but we all knew MMOs were going to go to voicing. And the Kinect's not really that great either. It's fun, but it's wonky. Now, getting into, that's a lot of, again, this is all review things that you could have heard from someone who's only played to level 20. Getting to level 50 and endgame. As the game goes on, the storylines, they're so separate, again, as I was saying, that there's no way of bringing it in. So as you get into higher levels and you want people to go with you, well, this guy's focusing on his story, so he's in a different area. So you're asking for help in the game. Hey, I need help with this. I need help with this. You might need a tank. You might need a healer. Well, the classes are broken down on specific things. This guy's on the other side of the map, and he'd have to run over to help you. It's not streamlined very well. So when you hear people, on the forums and people play the game going, God, it's such a pain in the ass to get a group. It's because, at least questing wise, they're in a whole different area than you are. Even though you're all on the same planet, and that gets the other story as well. And where it gets contradicting. Jedi Knight's on this planet because of problem A. Counselors on the planet because of problem B. Smugglers on the planet because of problem C. And the troopers on the planet for problem D. And guess what? They never meet. All these problems going on the same planet in the exact same areas, there's no overlapping. There's no, oh my God, well this is leaning into this or this is leaning into that. No, it's so separate. So when you're running and doing a story with someone, you're like, well, wait a minute, this guy never told me that. Like, what? And that's where I lose the continuity, falls apart. And that's what happened in Star Wars, the new trilogy. And this is why Star Wars is going downhill, is the writing.
Hey, TVH, have you seen my heroin?
Here, drink this mouthwash, you junkie.
Aww.
TVH is a closet junkie.
So that's what's happening in this game as well, is the continuity. You can't run with someone, their storyline's different, and then you get to the end game. And you learn the game that they did not beta the end game, or if they did, they didn't care. The what they call operations and hard mode flashpoints, it's everything you've already done in the game. All the flashpoints, there are portions of the game where you can run. You need 4 people to do them. That is an MMO part. I will give them that, and they're actually a lot of fun when they're working. Boss mechanics, mobs, going through and fighting things. The problem is when you get to end game, there's nothing new. It's just the same flashpoints that you did at level 10, just with harder enemies. So the excitement and the storylines of that are minute. The operations are so broken that they can get done, but a lot of people will tell you in the forums, again, they're all done with luck, because there's issues where a boss won't be there. You'll walk into a room and you will die. There's an area, and I'm not spoiling anything, where you gotta do these pillars, and you gotta work a puzzle with the 4 pillars. Well, even when you get it right, it's a 50-50 shot if it actually works or not, because of the way that it's coded. And which brings me to the last problem with this game overall, and why this game is gonna die, is the engine. It's using something called the Hero Engine. And the Hero Engine was designed by a game called Hero's Journey, and back in 2006. And this game was rated as amazing in every single video game review. Everyone was looking forward to this game being made. It got defunct because they couldn't figure out how to unbug the engine. And BioWare and EA bought this engine. And they can't get it to work. They will never be able to get it to work. The company that made it never got it to work. And you'll see that in every patch and getting it fixed. So overall, my impressions of this, again, this is a very probably underwhelming video, giving you a lot of information, but again, as it goes in the gaming things, I also want to use this one to set it up to give you used to terms like free-to-play and sub and MMOs and co-op. So look for the future reviews of music, movies that will be a lot better and a lot more done than this, but again, this game ate so much money out of my pocket already. I'm not going to give them any more of my fucking time to make an amazing video just to tear it apart. So this is the Vanspective, kids, and we will see you next month.